Right, couple of short pieces before the final piece. I've noticed several articles around the country now as more and more parents are homeschooling, or even better, pooling funds together to have their own homeschooling classes. And this is a good thing. And maybe the charter school communal gathering can come up with a curriculum that is suitable, where we could record it and make it a proper lesson, either by a CD or a DVD. But a couple of things develop from this consequence of actions, which in the long term will not help their system. Your child should receive better teaching, not education. That means training animals. They will no longer receive propaganda and mind manipulation, and no longer be exposed to some of the abuse and harassment that goes on in schools, and it also may end the peer pressure culture. But there's one other thing. If suddenly a larger portion is now not relying on the state school system and self-funding, people in small towns will need to lobby their council for reduced property taxes, given the bulk of property taxes are to fund state schools. Now, I have no idea if that applies in all states, but I know the bulk of my property taxes in Florida was attributed to school funding, even though none of my family attended schools. Something for the activists' communal gathering to think about. But there was a couple of pointers from the MeWe chat for listeners to ponder on. And a lively debate was about families. You know, my experience with family overall was not too pleasant. And is it often the case the family do more damage to you than friends or work colleagues? Now, the point is, you can rail at them for being nasty, uncaring, or worse, or use it as a springboard to develop the self. That way, they can't hurt you as much as previously, or at all if you develop fully the self-mastery skill. You know, I get why some have issues with families all too well, and the desire to prove them wrong, but that becomes a slippery slope. Your challenge is to prove to yourself, not others. That is comparative and competitive. Now, families can build or break you, but it's not them that is the cause of it. It is you for allowing it into and invading your space. One new member said this week: "We will all be gone from our form someday, and none of this will matter," in relation to the skullduggery that's going on around the world. But that attitude is why this planet is in a mess. And it's the equivalent of the "we're going to 5D" crew. Don't do nothing as we're going to 5D. But if 5D exists, and it is a more advanced way of living, then those people will not be going there. It's that simple. Why? Because they haven't advanced themselves on 3D enough yet. Sitting around doing nothing as part of the weight club. And 5D, as been turned into some sort of utopia world, yet no one knows where or whether it exists. They only think they know, because some agency or institute program made it up to distract people. Are there other planes of existence? Absolutely. That is why we are classed as multidimensional, and we can go to and operate on several planes of existence at the same time, including multiverses. But the point I'm making is not get fixed on one meme, because 5D appears to be another limitation program. Like the sky is the limit. My reply to that is, which sky? But statements like we will all be gone from our form someday and none of this will matter is just plain wrong thinking. Everything matters on a soul level. The doers make progress on a soul level regardless of what unfolds on the physical level. Non-doing or non-action is a waste of life. They are the reason we have cabals, poor governments, errant military, rogue agencies and secret societies, because people are all too content for them to run their lives. Badly, I might add. Which then allows the non-doer to play victim. The perpetual hamster wheel of a wasted life. And I can assure you, that never works out well for anyone. We'll be back with the final piece shortly.